At 7 o'clock this morning, we got the latest inflation figures. And yes, inflation is coming down. Strange in one way, because actually wages are going up. And the Bank of England, led, of course, by a man who I don't really think ought to be there, Andrew out-to-lunch Bailey, has got a big dilemma. Does he go on putting up interest rates? And will, the big political question, Rishi Sunak meet one of his 5 key pledges? Joining me, Liam Halligan, GB News' business and economics editor. A long, busy day, Liam. Inflation down, pretty much in line with what we expected.
It is, Nigel. Good news and bad news in these numbers. Inflation has come down from 7.9% during the 12 months to June to 6.8% during the 12 months to July. A pretty chunky reduction in anyone's money. Having said that, it's still over 3 times the Bank of England's 2% target. We're still very high compared to the Eurozone. 5.5% inflation, 3.2% in America. This reduction in inflation, it's not enough in my book to force the Bank of England to stop raising interest rates. I think they should have stopped raising interest rates months ago.
I know you think they should stop raising interest rates, but will they stop raising interest rates?
I doubt very much. And the reason I doubt that very much is because they haven't got the intellectual grit and determination. They're trying to salvage their battered credibility. They were late to start raising rates, in my view. They were too feeble and lacked boldness when they did start raising rates. So they've got to raise them now beyond the point at which it's necessary. This is counterproductive. They're at risk, actually, of driving the UK economy into a recession.
Looking towards the last quarter
Indeed.
of this year. Wages still going up.
Yesterday we had wage...
It's good news for workers.
It is. Look, we just had the largest increase in wages for almost 20 years in terms of absolute number terms. And for 1 month, so far, wages have been higher than inflation. So is this the end of the cost of living crisis? No. Is it the beginning of the end? Possibly. Fingers and toes crossed.
Possibly, yeah.
But the thing about these higher wages, 2 things. One is that they're an average. Average public sector wages went up 9.6%. Across the board, 8.2%. You know, people don't live in averages. People that didn't get a pay rise, people working in the gig economy part-time.
No, it just amuses me, Liam, that, you know, economists saying, isn't it terrible that wages are going up? Well, actually, no, it's quite good for people. But
the other bad thing is, indeed, that wage inflation will be the main reason why the people on the Bank of England who are determined to keep raising rates will win the argument.
Yeah, I get that. Now, Rishi Sunak, 5 big key pledges. Well, one of them in the English Channel not working out too well. But he made a pledge to halve inflation. When he made that promise, inflation was about 10.7%.
So he needs it to be 5.4...
by the end of the year.
Yeah. And I think he may get there, but if he gets there, it will be nothing really to do with what he's done. It will be largely global events. I tell you what will determine whether or not he gets there, Nigel. Geopolitics. Will war in Ukraine really kick off, causing another spike in energy prices this autumn? If it does cause a spike in energy prices, he's not going to meet his target. If it doesn't, then he probably will. Whether or not he does has nothing to do with what he does.
No.
And if there is a geopolitical energy price spike, nothing that the Bank of England does can do anything about that. So further rises in interest rates will be irrelevant and even more counterproductive.
What may help him, ironically, and again, nothing to do with him, is the state of the economy in China.
I think that's true. The global economy, the Chinese economy is slowing. China actually has deflation. It's got negative inflation, and that could slow down price rises around the world. Also, what I think will be a big issue is the extent to which the UK can manage to contain any energy price rises, whether or not the government's willing to put more money in to subsidise any spike in energy prices. Look, this is a scenario. I'm not saying it's going to happen. No. Yeah, my central sort of forecast in my mind is that he will hit his target. I'm talking about things that could knock this off course.
Yeah, but I think the China thing's really interesting, and because people think, oh, well, China just grows and grows and grows, they get richer and richer, but actually there's a big reversal.
There's a big reversal going on, which could have really big political implications in China, because the deal in China is as long as you keep growing, then the middle classes won't mind the fact that they live in a dictatorship. Well,
it's a slightly different tack, Liam, but my fear is if the Chinese economy continues to go down the way that it is, it makes an invasion of Taiwan next year more likely.